Hello guys, welcome back to One Shot Beverage here in my basement command center, and I want to make a quick video about why I think La Marzocco is a bad machine and why I think Unique is the better of the two. So first things first, let's talk about the boiler material. Copper in a Unique, stainless steel La Marzocco. Now I think they do that because they say the drink is better out of a better flavor profile, yada yada, out of a stainless steel boiler. But what I have to say to that is the water got there in a mixture of cast iron pipes from the ground and then into copper pipes in your house or in your restaurant, and then through a carbon activated filter that's supposed to take taste and odor out, and maybe a water softener filter, and then injected into the boiler. What effect could it possibly have on the flavor of that drink being stainless steel? I know not. The one thing I do know, copper is a better material. It stands up to rust and corrosion better than stainless steel. These will never rot out. The stainless steel will get impregnated with iron bits and start rusting a little pinhole and blow right out the side. So then you got to go buy a new $3,500 boiler for a machine you overpaid for anyway. I mean, 10 years it'll probably burn through that. You have that trifecta of heat, pressure, and chlorinated water, and it'll just blow through the tank. I used to work on coffee makers all my life, and I see what happens when you just have heat and chlorinated water. It eats through the tank. It eats through the fittings. Sometimes the whole fitting will just fall out of the side of the tank and gush 10 gallons of hot water all over your restaurant. Same will happen with the La Marzocco. Copper is the way to go. The tank seals on top of the La Marzocco have like a paper gasket, some kind of paper or cardboard. Nothing's O-ringed. It's like it's 1950 again inside that thing. When you work on the jigular valves on top of the heads, it's these real thin paper gaskets. They don't really work. You'll start leaking there prematurely. It's not a long-term machine. It's something that you're going to have to get maintained. This guy has been plugged in for nearly 30 years. Same control panels. He's probably had a couple button changes. This heating button here, they get amped out because it's a 110 unit and it pulls more amps than a 220. Probably has the same manometer it's always had. Copper. They changed these now. They're Teflon. This is a more updated version over here. This is Teflon, and I think it's just a better thing because you can't burn yourself on this. It doesn't burn when you touch it, unlike that copper. If you grab hold of that when it's at full steam, you're gonna feel it. Proper pressure stat, proper pump. I mean, the thing's old enough to vote, drive, and drink. It's an old machine. Never had a problem with it. Now let's go look at some of these super automatics that Unique makes. A lot of people are going racing to the bottom with their super automatics. They're made with plastic panels. They have all kinds of plastic lines inside, and that's just a cheap way around it. Here with these Uniques, real thick boiler materials, real nice chrome plated brass. Not one cheap way around it. It was a good machine. This one weighs 238 pounds, I think. You can't move it by yourself, not by a long shot. But with those cheap Schaefers and those Juras, those cheap ones you just throw around, they cost $2,500 new, but that's just because you're going to throw it away in 2 years. This one's fully serviceable. You can buy a rebuild kit for those pistons, or you can buy a whole new assembly and just pop it in. It looks complex, but they make it all pretty much able to be used, to be serviced without taking the boilers out. So, Unique, #1 for all those reasons I gave you. Better electronics, better materials. I bought a Linea 2E last year, and I picked it up from the guy, and I seriously could carry it to my car and throw it in the car, mainly because it's all boiler and it was all empty. So they also have probably what they think is a better idea, a design idea. They put the boiler outside the machine with lines running to it. They put the pump motor. The pump motor and the pump is outside the machine on the floor sitting. And I don't know why they do that. I'm guessing because they can't engineer it with the boiler and that in the same case. But it's a silly idea. So that's what I think. Do not buy a La Marzocco. Buy a Unique.